What if death were not inevitable? What if humans could live forever? Since the dawn of our species, we have struggled against the limits of time. Our bodies weaken, our memories fade, and eventually death claims us all. Yet across every culture and century, one dream has endured, the dream of escaping mortality itself. Kings once searched for magical elixirs. Alchemists pursued hidden stones. And today, scientists probe the deepest codes of our biology. So the question remains, can humans truly conquer death? This is the story of our greatest and most enduring quest, the pursuit of immortality. Our journey begins with the oldest legends ever told. The Epic of Gilgamesh, written over 4,000 years ago, tells of a mighty king who watched his closest friend die. Stricken with grief, he set out to find the secret of eternal life. His travels took him across deserts, mountains, and seas, until he learned a bitter truth. Immortality belonged only to the gods. Humans, no matter their power, must face death. In ancient Egypt, pharaohs prepared for eternity. Their pyramids rose like stairways to the heavens, filled with treasures to sustain them in the afterlife. They believed their souls would shine among the stars forever. In China, emperors consumed elixirs of mercury in their desperate search for eternal youth, ironically hastening their own deaths. In India, sacred texts described Amrita, the nectar of immortality. The Greeks imagined ambrosia, the food of the gods, which preserved divine life. In medieval Europe, alchemists hunted for the Philosopher's Stone, a substance said to turn base metals into gold and grant eternal youth. To them, immortality was not only physical, but spiritual, the perfection of both matter and soul. None of these myths proved true. The elixirs were illusions, the rituals empty. Yet they reveal something profound. Humans have never accepted death easily. Again and again, across continents and centuries, we reached for eternity. And when the age of myth gave way to the age of science, that yearning only grew stronger. To challenge death, we must first understand life and why it fades. The human body is a vast community of trillions of cells, each one a tiny engine carrying the instructions of life in its DNA. Every second, these cells divide, repair, and renew. But the process is not flawless. At the ends of every chromosome lie telomeres, protective caps that shield our DNA. With each division, telomeres shorten. Eventually, they become too short to protect the cell. At that point, the cell stops dividing, ages, or dies. But telomeres are only one piece of the puzzle. Over time, mutations creep into DNA, errors written into life's code. Oxidative stress, the biological equivalent of rust, eats away at our cells. Mitochondria, the powerhouses of life, weaken and falter. Proteins misfold. Waste accumulates. Slowly, the body's machinery breaks down. To us, this process appears as aging. Gray hair, wrinkled skin, fading memory. But what if aging is not destiny? What if it is a biological program? Something that can be slowed, altered, perhaps even reversed? In laboratories, scientists have extended the lives of worms and flies many times over. Genetically altered mice have lived far beyond their natural span. In some cases, old cells have been rejuvenated, their biological clocks reset. For the first time in history, science is beginning to suggest that aging may not be inevitable, that it may, in fact, be treatable. Already, humans are living longer than ever before. At the dawn of the 20th century, the average human lifespan was barely 30 years. Today, it has more than doubled, thanks to medicine, sanitation, and technology. But there is a difference between living longer and living forever. The longest confirmed human life belongs to Jean Calment, a French woman who lived to 122 years. She was born in 1875, when the Eiffel Tower was still under construction, and lived long enough to see the dawn of the Internet age. Her life spanned 3 centuries, yet she remains an extraordinary exception. Scientists still debate whether a true biological limit exists. Some argue that humans cannot live beyond 120 or 150 years. The body simply wears out. Others believe there is no fixed ceiling, only obstacles waiting to be overcome. If breakthroughs arrive, human lives might stretch to 200 years, perhaps even longer. But as we push against nature's limits, we must also ask, how far should we go? In research centers across the globe, scientists are testing ways to slow, stop, even reverse aging. One approach is telomere therapy. By restoring the protective ends of chromosomes, cells could divide far beyond their normal limit. In laboratory mice, this method has extended lifespan dramatically. Another path is stem cell rejuvenation. Stem cells are the raw material of the body, capable of becoming any tissue. By replenishing aging organs with fresh cells, scientists hope to keep bodies perpetually young. CRISPR gene editing goes deeper still, offering the ability to repair and rewrite DNA itself. With such tools, harmful mutations could be removed, and perhaps new genes added to resist aging entirely. There are also senolytics, drugs designed to target and destroy senescent cells. These malfunctioning zombie cells linger in tissues, releasing chemicals that damage their neighbors. Clearing them has restored youth and vitality in aging animals. Even something as simple as caloric restriction shows promise. In many species, eating less, without starvation, extends lifespan and improves health. Fasting, it seems, may trigger the body's hidden survival mechanisms. Nature itself offers inspiration. The tiny hydra, a freshwater creature, shows no sign of aging at all. It can regenerate endlessly. The jellyfish Turritopsis dohrnii can revert its body to a youthful state, in effect resetting its life. These creatures may be biologically immortal. If they can do it, why not us? It is no wonder, then, that billionaires and corporations are investing billions into longevity research. Google's Calico, Jeff Bezos's Altos Labs, and countless startups are racing to unlock the secret of eternal youth. For the first time in human history, immortality is shifting from myth to possibility. But the quest for immortality does not end with biology. Some envision futures born of science fiction. Consider cryonics, preserving the body in liquid nitrogen immediately after death, waiting for a future age when medicine might revive it. Hundreds of people lie frozen today, hoping that centuries from now, they will awaken. Or imagine mind uploading. If every thought, memory, and emotion is a pattern of electrical signals in the brain, could we one day scan and copy it into a machine? Could a digital version of your mind, running inside a computer, be considered you? Or would it merely be an echo? Another vision is transhumanism, a future where humans merge with machines. Artificial organs, brain-computer interfaces, even cybernetic bodies could allow us to transcend biology itself. Step by step, we might become something more than human, and perhaps undying. Yet these paths remain speculative. Cryonics has never revived a body. Mind uploading faces immense technological and philosophical challenges. And transhumanism raises its own troubling question. If enough of our body and mind is replaced by machines, are we still human at all? Science fiction stretches our imagination, but also warns us. Not all paths to immortality may be wise or even possible. Imagine a world where death no longer exists. At first, it may sound like paradise, but the reality would be far more complex. Without death, overpopulation could overwhelm the planet. Resources already strained would be consumed at unimaginable rates. Immortality might also create vast new inequalities. Would only the wealthy afford eternal youth, while billions remain mortal? The gap between rich and poor could widen into an unbridgeable chasm. There are also questions of meaning. Much of human ambition is driven by time, by the knowledge that life is short. If we lived forever, would love, achievement, and purpose still hold urgency? Or would existence stretch into a long, endless horizon without meaning? Some philosophers argue that death is not only an end, but a teacher. It gives life weight. It forces every moment to matter. Without death, we might lose the very thing that makes life precious. Perhaps immortality would not be a blessing, but a burden. From the myths of Gilgamesh to the laboratories of today, humanity has never ceased to dream of immortality. Science may one day grant us centuries of life, perhaps even eternity. But even if it does, we will still face the same question. Not whether humans can live forever, but whether we truly should.